So my name is Moneroshi. I'm East African. I was born and raised in Kenya, and I live in the States in Texas right now.
And my name is Sheila. I was born in Kenya. It's in East Africa. I live in Texas too right now.
Okay, so we're going to discuss colorism in East Africa and also compare it to our experience with colorism in America.
Yes.
Okay, did I ever experience colorism in Kenya growing up? No. Growing up, I didn't even know there was something like color, honestly. Like, we didn't have anything about, we only knew like people were brown and people were dark skinned.
Yeah.
And at least in the community that I grew up in Nairobi, and when I came to America, it was when Vera Sidika bleached and the whole world in Kenya stopped. It was like Vera Sidika was the first person to bleach. The whole country stopped and was all discussing it. That's when I was like, oh, there's something called bleaching. I didn't even know about it. Maybe other people experienced it, but I was just blind to it. So what's your experience about colorism in Kenya?
Okay, so for me in Kenya, it wasn't that, I really didn't realize it was colorism until I grew up, and I was like, oh, so when I was a kid and I was a very active kid, so maybe in church I will go and read the Bible, like volunteer to pray and all that stuff. But when we have something going on, a function, and they're like, let's pick one kid to actually go and pray in front of church, they will go for the light skin kid.
To pick me, no,
Yeah, so they will go for the light skin one who really, and she was actually my best friend, and she really didn't want to do it. I liked doing it,
and you weren't getting picked.
And I always saw my mom. I will volunteer myself, and one time I remember she faked she was sick and I had to do it.
Wow.
And that was the happiest day of my life, because I went in front of the church, like elders are there, young people are there, and I was able to pray. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, why was I never picked? Like when they pick,
that's why.
you know,
because I was always getting picked. Like when I was in primary school, we would do like debate. I'm like the Saitoti, you know, those ministers would come. I was always getting picked to do like the debates, to do everything, and I just thought maybe I'm just good at this. I doubt it now. I wasn't that good, but I was always getting picked.
They will all, because
these people are evil.
Exactly. And when you look at it, for kids, you don't think about it like that. You're just like, oh, maybe I need to pray harder, or I need to volunteer more. And that's what I did. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna keep on volunteering. When they say who wants to pray in Sunday school, my hand was always up, because I'm like, the next time we have something going on,
yeah, I
want to be the one elected to do it. But it just never happened. I think I prayed like twice. And the funny thing is, I never gave up on doing it though. Wow. I just kept
people are evil. That's just adults being super evil, I guess.
Yeah, even when they pick, you know, when someone has a wedding and they pick flower girls, you will notice all the flower girls are light skinned. Like my friend, I can't mention her name, we used to go to the same church. Her mom was a nurse, and they were best friends with my mom too. So they will pick her, and I'm like, there's no way, there's no relationship. Wow. Like my mom is closer to the person getting
and they don't
married,
pick you, they pick the other kid.
But yeah, so
people are evil.
Thank God I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, thank God you never even realized that that's what they were doing.
Yeah, and
that's evil. Oh yeah, my God.
So it's in Kenya, and it's fine if you wanna be ignorant. Just keep quiet with your ignorance.
Yeah, don't say it doesn't exist.
Yeah, because there are people who embrace it and they don't really see if I'm dark or not. And I think what also really has helped me like navigate through life, because it's seeing like my mom, she's been the same color, and the most prettiest person I thought in my life when I grew up was like my mom. If you ask me who's the most gorgeous woman, I was like, it's my mom, because I always will remember her calcate and the way she would wear like skirts and her ass would like come out and all that. Like she looked perfect to me. So that was the example.
But I had somebody say that if we keep raising or allowing people to bleach, then there won't be any representation of dark-skinned women, and when there's no representation of dark-skinned women, then children won't have anyone to look up to as a dark-skinned person, which I guess that's what you're saying. You knew your mother was pretty and she was dark-skinned, so that's who you looked up to. But if you have a child who the mom is like has bleached, and then when she goes to TV or to YouTube, everybody's light-skinned, and she has nobody to look up to as a dark-skinned person.
So I'm just like, it's not the best thing, but you never know why somebody gets to that point.
Yeah, you never know someone's
like,
story.
You know what? I wanna bleach.
Yeah.
Maybe they've had you ugly too much. People have been chosen over them because of their skin. So they've gotten to a point. They're like, you know what? I wanna be seen to. I wanna be chosen to.
So why not?
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna be against it.
It's your body. Do whatever you wanna do with it.
So that's been the other question. Have you ever thought of bleaching? So let me say, have I ever thought of bleaching? Yes. Have I ever bought bleaching cream? Yes, I have.
What did you want to look like?
I know. No, let me tell you what happened. What happened? I had acne. I had really bad acne when I was like 24, and then I was trying everything I think was working. So I tried all these creams that people advertise on YouTube, and it doesn't work. Then I found this blog on Google. It's like for black people and bleaching. And I was really impressed. People who bleach actually put a lot of effort on their skin. They really take care of their skin. And that is when I was reading all these blogs, and they talk about different skin conditions. So that's when I came to realize as a black person that my skin is different from a white person. So I shouldn't be buying white people stuff to treat acne. I need to be buying things that are meant for black skin. So they even had like ingredients on how to treat your skin. So I tried, and it cleared my acne completely. Like, it was like amazing. I learned about black soap over there. But when I was on there, they would always have this lighter skinned women, and that was like a while back. That was when like everybody was like, the whole bleaching thing had become like a really big thing, and it was like, oh, if you use these creams your skin will glow. So I wanted the glow. I didn't really like want to be lighter. There was just this glow that these people who bleach all had. Maybe it's just filters, we need to know. But I was like, let me go buy it. So I went to the store. I bought Caroline or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
What store?
They sell it at a beauty supply. They sell at regular beauty supplies these days. Yeah, I just got it at a beauty supply store. No, I just got it at a regular beauty supply store. And I had Sonny was my friend there. So Sonny came, and I was like, yeah, I got this cream and I'm supposed to use it on me and my skin will just glow. And she was like, you know, that's bleaching cream. Like, it's gonna ruin your skin. You're gonna have pigmentation, this and this and this. So I was like, okay, never mind. So that was the end of me and my bleaching career. I ended like that.
So you did it you wanted.
Yeah, I did it for at least 2 weeks, but I wasn't even doing it right, because supposedly you're supposed to first of all exfoliate before you bleach. You don't just go straight to bleaching. I just started putting it on like regular Vaseline on my body. But I wanted to have that glow, because everybody who had bleached looked like they had this glow to them, and I was like, I want that glow, but never got it. But now I know it's just filters. All these celebrities just use filters, and that's why they glow. That's not their real skin.
Me, have I ever thought of bleaching? It crossed my mind, but I never even got to the point of buying or looking at stuff. I actually wanted to sell bleaching cream to people, but I was like, why would I sell something that I cannot use myself? Because I saw, what's her name, Dancia?
She makes a lot of money from it.
And I was like,
I also follow somebody on Snapchat. She lives in Houston. She's Nigerian. Oh, she makes a lot of money from it.
Exactly. And then some people really don't bleach. For me, I remember I wanted to bleach because I have marks on my knees, and I also have like 2 marks on my, and I was like, I just want to bleach that portion. And I remember talking to my sister about it like in 2014, like, can I just do, so like it's just gonna make that part really light. It's not gonna get rid of the scars. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to have like very light knees and then everything else is a mismatch. So really thinking of bleaching, not 100%.
No. Okay. I was doing a little bit of research, and back in East Africa, before white people came, we had slavery, where people were being sold into slavery to the Arabs, and those Arabs lived in Northern Africa, and they're the ones who introduced Islam in Africa. That's why our coastline is full of Islam. Tanzania is really majority Islam country. Somalia is fully Islam. And when they were in North Africa, they practiced a lot of slavery. They bought a lot of slaves. Actually, they had slaves even from white people. They had slaves from Europe, Africa, everywhere. And I read that they preferred lighter skinned women. 75% of their slaves were women, not even men. And all the women went to sex slaves. They were called harems. They would keep them in harems, and they preferred lighter skinned slaves. They would get more money for a lighter skinned slave. They would still get dark skinned slaves, but the dark skinned slave would be like maybe just a worker, and then they would die in like a few years because they were overworked. But if you were a light skinned slave, you would be put in the harem, and you'd be spoiled in the harem. Not really spoiled, it's still a sex slave. But they had a lot of preference towards lighter skinned women, and when they were bringing Islam, they really introduced that whole perception that if you're lighter complexion, you're better. And that's why colorism, like in East Africa, it's worse in such countries. Like Tanzania has bad. Tanzania is bad with Tanzania and Nigeria are like the same level with bleaching. Like that's big thing in Tanzania. Mombasa, our coastline, also bleaching is such a big thing. And I think that's why Vera bleached, because Vera was raised in Mombasa. There, the colorism is way worse. In Nairobi, in the inland, it's not as bad. You know, like French Montana also has gotten into trouble because of colorism. Because in Morocco, the northern part of Africa, people don't like dark-skinned people. Most of them are super light-skinned, and they still even practice slavery towards the dark-skinned. They don't like the dark-skinned Africans. They're still Africans. They feel like the superior Africans. But colorism is even worse on the northern part of Africa.
Yeah, I think I read about it. I read a scholarly written paper on Google Scholar, and it basically said, so this is like of late, right? They say like bleaching has taken like full effect the past 10 years. People started like doing augmentation in their body, like all the adding stuff, and also bleaching their skin, which looking back at the people that I know have bleached, which I cannot mention the names, but from what the paper says, I think it's true. Because for the past 10 years, like 11 years ago when I left Kenya, I saw a lot of people, like my peers and stuff, changing their skin.
Kenya. So as an adult in America, have you ever experienced colorism?
A lot, which is actually very disappointing and annoying, because I wish I experienced that in Kenya more than in America. In Kenya, I feel like once after high school, it was like, oh, that girl from Nai, when you go to school, like people like you, oh, the one who know you can dance, like there were too many things to look at, but color, we didn't really
color.
care
There were other things
that.
to judge people on. Color wasn't even a priority.
Yeah, so at that point, I can't look back and say, oh, maybe this thing was color. No, I feel like everybody treated me according to who I was in Kenya. But when I came to America, I remember I dated this guy, and this cousin called me Giza. She was like,
Giza means darkness.
So she was like, oh, you're built like a boy, Giza, you're too ugly and all that stuff. So my whole life, like I said, I was looking at my mom and I'm like, I'm pretty. Looking at my mom, her hair and all that stuff. But that one thing, I was 22 at that time, so I was a little girl at 4, 5, 6. It never affected me. But this time I should be stronger and all that. But that shit affected my life. It took me until 2014. That's when I was able to shake that up and be like, you know what, I won't let her define me. Then there's a time we went to Nai with that guy I was dating, and there were these Kikuyu guys who were sitting around us, and they were talking, asking if I have papers and stuff, and they were like, oh, but she's too dark in Kikuyu. Unfortunately,
they say that in Kikuyu.
In
you know, I didn't know Kikuyus were colorists until the other day.
So I have experienced it from Kenyans, which is sad. Have I, like, I feel like the people who actually accepted my darker skin well is Ghanaians, Nigerians, and white people.
Oh, white people
the
especially.
one
They don't
I
even see
know.
color.
Yeah, I don't know if they're faking it or not, but from what the friends that I have from those, you know, they embrace me. I've never felt like they're looking at me because I'm dark or light. They take me for Sheila. They've never made side comments. They can be too drunk and call me anything, but never ugly or your dark skin is this and that. So in America, I've experienced it a lot, and sadly, from people who I would call my brother and sister because they're from Kenya, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever dated a colorist? So on that one, I remember this is the guy I dated. He was Luo. He's from Western Kenya, and also the first date, he's told me open up. He said I would never marry a dark-skinned woman. This guy is super dark-skinned. So I said, why? He said, because I know the struggles of being a dark-skinned person. I wouldn't want my kids to go through that. I was like, but you're dark-skinned. You have a high chance your kids could also be dark-skinned. It doesn't mean that your kids are going to be dark-skinned because you're the light-skinned person. Kids choose genes from any side. They can pick your genes and they're super dark-skinned as you. So that was my first experience with colorism. Like someone on my face telling me. It almost felt like I was being picked because I'm light-skinned. I had never felt that way before. So I called Kolo. I'm like, what, like this guy just said this, is this normal? And Kolo was like, oh yeah, in Kisumu that's very normal. For man, if you're successful, if you're a light-skinned woman, then it feels
Yeah,
like
women
you
bleach a
succeeded.
lot.
But when you succeed, you don't want to consume the dark skinned woman. But that's very common. That was the first time I knew that Kenya had that level of colorism.
Have I ever?
Yeah.
No. But to piggyback on what you just said, I remember when that girl told me that she called me Giza, because she will do that a lot, like she will insult me a lot. And it got to a point I was like, you know what, I thought of it. I was like, you know what, I even told her, I think if I get married, I want to get married to a light-skinned guy, because I don't want my kids to go through this.
That.
And that was a weak moment, but that's what I was like, what did that guy say after you told him that?
Yeah.
Because she didn't say anything. She was like, yeah, you should. That's what she told me. I had to go through, it's like like you just have to realize who you are. You have to know that dark skin doesn't mean it's bad. And look, I don't have a problem. Like I have a good career. I'm good.
It doesn't define your life.
It got to a point I changed my mind though. I wasn't like, I even hate that I say that. That's one of the things that I don't regret. I probably don't regret anything in my life, but that is one statement I regret saying.
Letting somebody get under your skin.
But did I change it after less than maybe a year after, when my mindset changed and I was like, okay, number one, I'm not sure if I want to have babies. Number two, if I want to have babies, I'll have them with someone who respects me, loves me, and I love them. I don't care how your skin looks like. Those babies will know they're loved because they'll see how my skin is. And
and when someone goes after your skin color, that's just the lowest of low. So you shouldn't even let that get under your skin. That just means that they're dealing with their own personal issues and their own self-hatred, and they're trying to project it to somebody else. Okay, because colorism, Kenya and USA.
I will say in the US it's worse. Oh, you know, one thing I didn't say, this African American lady who asked me one day, she was like, oh, are you African? I was like, why? She said, because of your color. And I was like, I thought maybe she'll see on my forehead or my accent. Because if you say my accent, I'll be
there are
like,
a lot of dark-skinned African Americans. I saw somebody on Twitter. There was a Nigerian guy on Twitter one time. He said, oh, if you want to date a girl, a pretty girl, date a girl from East Africa. East African girls are pretty. Then this Somali guy comments and says, oh, not all of them, just Somali and Eritrea. I was like, nigga, what does that mean? They're dark-skinned Somali people, they're dark-skinned Ethiopian people. Like, what does that even mean? So
Rwanda has beautiful people.
Yeah, Rwanda has beautiful, and they're dark-skinned too, and they're pretty. The facial structure is very pretty. So we have dark-skinned, light-skinned people in East Africa.
Sudan.
Oh my God, Sudan. That girl, the model, the one you introduced me to, Adek. No, the one who has a baby. Daki. Oh, Daki is so pretty.
And her sister Nikki.
Yes, their face is so pretty. Okay, so I'm saying on Kenyans on Twitter, I've noticed that they attack darker-skinned women more than lighter-skinned women. So even if I start having an argument with them, me being a lighter skin, they will just brush it off and just let it go. Like I've noticed that the people who are Kenyan on Twitter, they're known as bullies. And some of them, I will cast them out today and then tomorrow they'll compliment me. I'm like, we're not in good terms here. But they go after dark-skinned women a lot. And Twitter is bad with colorism. Twitter, there's like no filter. People attack dark-skinned women so much on Twitter. Facebook Facebook is heaven.
So like you said, I feel like colorism is the same everywhere. In Kenya it's bad just as in America is bad. But when it comes to selling a product, colorism doesn't apply in America. They actually like seeing, I feel like the consumers like seeing that darker shade on that, but not to date you, to say, oh, she's pretty, she's this and she's that. Like I will get more likes on Instagram when I post my stuff. I'll get like 200, 100 something likes. So I think
Americans really don't care on Instagram that much.
No, they're just like, it's pretty, something is good. They're like,
and like when I look at influencers or social media, Instagram models, I don't know, or influencers in East Africa, like in Kenya we have Huda and Vera who are big. They're both light skinned and Vera tanned light. But in America, who do we have? We have dark skin people. We have what's her name? Judy. I like Judy. Judy is darker skinned. Samburu Queen is darker skinned. What's her other friend? Masai Queen is also darker.
Jackie Aina.
Yeah.
Patricia Bright.
So all of them are dark skin.
Yeah,
Actually,
they're not like dark my complexion, but they're not like super light skin.
Yeah. So I think in America
different.
they don't have a problem with people being darker skin, especially on social media. As long as the content you're putting out is good, I think people will appreciate it.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like the thing about preference, when somebody says that, I get mad. All my friends know this. I will cut you off and be like, what you're doing is wrong. Because I feel like if your preference stigmatizes a group of people, then it's oppressive. Otherwise, it's okay. But if it doesn't stigmatize anybody, then it's fine. But if what you're saying, if anytime you open your mouth, you feel like what you're saying could oppress somebody else or make somebody else feel bad or stigmatize a group of people, then it's wrong. Otherwise, you shouldn't have it. So I also don't have a preference where I can say that I only date men who are 6 feet tall, because nobody chose to be 5 foot tall. And it's not their fault. So anybody with a good heart will know, why are you judging somebody on something that is not their fault? They didn't choose to be 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
So why are you stigmatizing them because of it? So I have a problem with it. I have a problem with the whole idea that it's a preference. No, it's not. You're just a hateful person who hates people of a darker complexion. That's just it.
It's character. And to me, I'm like, when I look at a darker person saying that, first I look at your sisters and your mom. I'm like, so if you think we're ugly, I know how you feel about the person who carried you in a belly, and it's fine. That's your preference, right? Get away with it. And then also, like, if we say, like, during slavery, how they say they preferred lighter skin, does that make it right?
Yeah, I know it's a preference. So, hey, I prefer my lighter skin slaves to stay in the house. So that
I mean, I try to. I like people doing whatever they want to do. If you want to kill yourself, do it. If you want to be happy, be happy. If you don't want to be happy,
because they never limit yourself with skin color.
Yeah,
honestly.
and there's more. What I will just say is there's more to you. There's your character, your heart, who you are, your work ethic. Don't let anybody basically limit you or tell you you can't or you can because of how you look. Yeah. Because you might say, oh, so and so, who told you? I don't know. It's just it won't limit me personally.
And I feel like a lot of my dark skinned friends, they don't like to be out there. You're like that too. I used to get mad at you about wearing bright clothes.
I don't like wearing bright
She
clothes,
prefers to just be like in the shadows, like a wallflower. She doesn't want to be out. And I feel that's also ingrained in dark-skinned women, that you will not be seen. So they don't even try to be seen. They feel like maybe putting on makeup, putting on bright lipstick, putting on, you know, colored hair will make you be too much out there. And they don't want to be too much out there, which I feel is erasing yourself. Society has already erased you. Society doesn't want dark-skinned women. So why are you also erasing yourself?
To me, I'm more comfortable with like settled colors like gray, black, and also partly you might be right, but this is just because of how maybe I grew up. I don't like putting attention on myself. I hate attention. Do I still get it? Yeah. Do I avoid it even in my black clothes? I still get attention in that, because someone will be like, oh, this Sheila. I'm like, I was trying to avoid that. So I try to be, and even like I like wearing white. I'll wear black and white, which is kind of like the white is out there.
Yeah.
So it's
just like, don't put yourself in a corner.
I see that.
And you don't want to be seen, because to grow in life, if you ever want to get a promotion, you know, no one's just gonna notice you.
You have to work hard.
You know, and you have to also put yourself out there. So don't let your skin color make you feel like you shouldn't be outspoken. You shouldn't be loud. No. You should just be quiet, like a little shadow. Definitely be outspoken. Don't erase yourself. Yeah. The stereotypes of light-skinned and dark-skinned women in Kenya.
Oh, yeah. So when people see me, they feel like they have a cook, they have a cleaner, they have a this, they have a that. No.
And when people see me, they don't even want me to cook. So just I'll be in the kitchen, someone will come and grab them and I'm like, no, don't cook, you just go sit down.
Exactly. But the funny thing is, I like doing all that.
You do, you like doing, and I don't like cooking.
There's a
yeah, I feel like definitely there's this stereotype that light-skinned women can't cook and we can't clean, and it works to my benefit sometimes, because people don't expect those things from me. So I'm never pressured to do those things. So yeah, there's that.
I'm expected to. Like even when you meet a guy in the club, I remember when I used to go to Naya a lot, they'll be like, will you cook for me?
Nobody has ever asked me that.
Are you going? Oh, they'll be like, oh, so do you do shakara? Will you cook? You know how people
ask you that, will you cook for me?
Not now.
Somebody has ever asked you that.
I'm telling you, not now.
Or when you're going to
those
East African clubs. Yeah. No. Okay, so the other stereotype that I have experienced, I don't know if this is just me, but I have experienced this stereotype. I feel like light-skinned women in East Africa are slut-shamed more than dark-skinned women. Honestly, when I was growing up, well, most of my friends were guys. So I would go to the club with like 5-6 guys, and I'm like the only female. And it would be, oh, she must be sleeping with them. And I used to have dark-skinned friends. They would go with the same guys alone. Nobody would notice them. Nobody would even talk about them. It would be like nothing happened. But with me, it was always like, who is she sleeping with? Who is she sleeping with? Like every guy friend I would have, it would be, I'm sleeping with them. And I've also noticed, because I follow this guy called Edgar. He's a YouTuber, and he's also on Instagram. And I've noticed lately on his page, people have started really slut shaming women. Like in Canada, like, oh, this girl, you know, she takes nice Instagram pictures, she has nice clothes, and she must have a sponsor. Somebody must be sponsoring her lifestyle. And it's always light-skinned women. But I feel like with light-skinned women has always been like, oh, she must have a sponsor, she must have somebody financing her lifestyle. But with my dark-skinned friends, nobody would notice them, which was a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, in public it's a good thing, but what I experienced, this is both in Kenya and in America. In America, not too much. They feel like you won't be slut shamed, but when a guy talks to you, it's like they're doing you a favor, and they think like the first thing you're gonna do is have sex. Like, you know, when you try to be like, no, I'm not gonna give up the goodies immediately, like let's start talking, they act like they're actually doing you a favor because you're dark skinned. So it's like, you know what, we gotta have sex first before we even go on the date.
If you don't have sex with them, will they contact you the next day to keep trying?
No. Or even if I don't talk to them, like if I don't agree to go, they wouldn't call. And to me, that just tells me I know what you wanted. Like, oh, you came to the club, probably you're grinding on all these gals, and now you're horny, and your mind is like, let me pick up a quick one who will feel like I'm doing her a favor. And no, you're not doing her a favor. If you embrace diversity, then you need to appreciate that difference in our skins, because this is, you can say, oh, let's let Muslims come in, let's let Christianity, let's let that, and you don't embrace this. You're like, oh, black people and white people. If you don't embrace difference in skin color, then you are a problem out there. And make sure it's our job to teach the kids or the next generation that, hey, you're pretty the way you are. Let nobody tell you, like, wherever I go, I feel like I'm glowing, like there's this melanin, dark skin glowing. I feel like I'm becoming worse as I age. Like, you're becoming more full of yourself. I'm just like, I was telling Ella yesterday, like, I don't care if Beyonce stands next to me. I know she's pretty and everything, but I won't feel intimidated. Like 4 years ago,
you would have felt intimidated.
Like, I don't care if I'll be in all black. I'll be like, hey, hi, and keep doing whatever I'm doing, because I know who I am. If you don't know who I am, and you don't feel like knowing because of how I look, I'm not sorry. You deal with your own issues. It
takes a lot to finally just learn how to self-love yourself. But I think the more we call out colorism when it happens, and I think we need to stop with like the songs that promote colorism, especially like in Kenya. We need to just start, you know, calling them out and getting a way to just stop them, especially the song that keep praising like this whole idea of yellow yellow, you know, because that goes into children's minds. So if we start calling out colorism whenever it happens, when you see an adult praising somebody for being light-skinned, you call it out when it happens, then the next generation, maybe children won't grow hearing so much about it and knowing about that they're different just because of their skin color. So that might help the next generation. So yeah, that's it for our first YouTube video together. Hopefully we'll be doing more videos together.
I'll cook some more.
As long as you cook more. I'll be coming to visit more. See what I'm doing. But you like to cook.
I like cooking now. I only cook for people who respect me and know my worth. If you don't know my worth, I'm not cooking for you. I'm nobody's household.
Okay, bye.